Yeah, one more thing. It's telling me that I'm going to be at home at 3:03:07 at night. It says it's 20:23 now, which is actually quite correct. And it's giving me till 3:05 or something at night when it's showing me the thing, because it doesn't know the road. At 3:07 it was saying. So I think it'll be rather. So this will be interesting to see what time I actually get there, if it is 3:07 or not, or whether I can manage to do it well within that time with the new roads that have appeared since this very chatty thing was first made. 3:06 it already thinks I should be doing by 3:06. So, but 3:07 is the standard that I'm starting off with to see if I can get home by 3:07. It's got home programmed into it, and it tells me 3:06 now or 3:07 to get there. But I'll see how that really pans out when we get there. Yeah, I can't resist showing you these pines again in the setting sun. The way they reflect. That is definitely one of my sights that I like to see.
Prepare to leave highway in 3 kilometers.
Oh, come on. I'm not going to leave highway for 500 kilometers, matey. So, actually, what is the distance till empty is, oops, yeah, I've got 449 kilometers worth of distance till empty. So that won't get me to Warsaw, but it'll get me most of the way there. Must remember to tank again somewhere between Poznan and Łódź. There are some decent places to do it. After Łódź, I'm not so sure how well furnished the road is with tanking places. Nice clouds as well up there, nice colour. Lots of light and plenty of colour at the moment. Ah, no, it's true. I do have to go off this. Yeah, this is that point. There always was this. This looks different these days to the way it used to look. A lot better. The motorway was really crappy, you know, in the olden days here. Now it's all been smoothed up. Broadened a bit as well. Trees are really beautiful, aren't they? The occasional birch among the pines. Fantastic. So here the motorway's actually gone really crappy and horrible, because they've narrowed it in order to broaden it. They've cut the trees back further, and they're redoing that side of it. And now I'm actually on 308, so I've actually lost a minute because I'm stuck behind this. I don't really like to go past these lorries when it's green. I just don't find that I'm able to these days judge it so well as I used to. So I'm not sure that I can. So I'd just rather sit behind him for 5 minutes until the road building bit goes away, which means I've lost a couple of minutes, but I'll make them all back anyway. I'd rather lose a couple of minutes than lose the car, you know, so one has to really trust the people to be getting those barriers exactly right in order to go down that second thing. In Germany, these yellow strips, whenever they're there, they take precedence over the white ones, but the white ones are still there, which can be a bit confusing, all in all told. But yeah, so 308 is what it says now, 308. But obviously this gives us the promise of a much nicer motorway at this point in the future. Here it's no better than it ever was, worse than it has been. But Germany hasn't finished being built. This is East Germany, of course, which was under communist control until 1989. So, and we all rejoiced when the wall came down, and people started coming in from West Germany and sorting things out, putting money in, etc. And the Germans were pretty good to each other at that time. I don't know whether everybody really liked the idea of doing it, whether everybody felt that it was a good use of their taxes. Some people didn't, but at the end of the day they kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, jetzt wird wieder in die Hände gespuckt, wir steigen das Bruttosozialprodukt oder den Bruttosozialprodukt. So yeah, anyway, here we are. Looks like it's the end of this bit, so in the end I'm now at 3:09, so I lost 2 minutes in fact, instead of saving any. It's a bit funny, but never mind. Let's make them back now. We're coming to the last bit of Germany. That's an Autohof. It used to be completely full, and everybody used to have to go in via there and get themselves a ticket and what have you, and a place. Oh, there's a small plane up there. So now it's sort of just like if you fancy parking, you can park there. Ausfahrt. There's one more Ausfahrt before you stop being Germany and start being Poland. And in the olden days it said on it, letzte Ausfahrt vor der Grenze, which means the last exit before the border. Now, what I want to try and capture now is whether that sign is still on that last turn off. Because in theory, if we've got Schengen, it's supposed to be no border. It's supposed to be keine Grenzen, keine Mauern, etc. So letzte Ausfahrt vor Bundesgrenze. So it's still there. It actually does still say the last exit before the federal border. So, you know, it's not supposed to be a border. It's not really. It's supposed to be border free, as far as we're concerned. That's the idea. And the Germans are all the time telling us how good Europeans they are, but they're good Europeans on the one side, and they look after their own interests with the other. Stadtbrücke Frankfurt always gesperrt, so you can't get over the Frankfurt town bridge at the moment. So you've got to do it. If you want to go into Poland, then there's one actually less border to actually do it by. So and there's your letzte Ausfahrt. And then if you don't want to go out there, then effectively you do have to go into Poland. But that shouldn't be an issue to anybody anymore, should it? That's just the same as any other business of going one motorway Ausfahrt too far and then having to double back. Why should it be a big deal now? There's not supposed to be any queue or any problem with going over to a different country. Okay, it's still another country, but it shouldn't really need something like letzte Ausfahrt vor Bundesgrenze, like something bad was going to happen if you go over to Poland, you know. They should really take that down, in my opinion.
The speed limit.
And if there's anything like that on the Polish side, I didn't see it, but they should also take it down on that side too. Earlier on I was looking at clouds and seeing if I could make it to fly up to a cloud which was rectangular. Now it's not rectangular anymore, it's already looking like a hill, that one up there. And I still haven't flown quite up to it, but its position in the sky is very different to what it was. It's, as usual, as you even look at the clouds, they're changing shape the whole time up there. And as you drive towards them in a car, by the time you get to them, they're looking completely different to where you first saw them. And also getting to them, well, you often discover that the road takes you away different to what you expected when you first saw the cloud. So you're not approaching it from the same angle. The cloud, of course, can be moving in a different direction of travel to the one you're moving, because they're always moving. There's winds blowing them about. So they can also be in a completely different place. But it's always a nice thing if you've got a long journey on, just to take a little bit of a reference point to the clouds and see how much they have moved on or changed by the time you're expecting to get to them. It's one of the things I quite like to do. It makes driving feel a little bit more like flying, which is nice. Now, I don't know why I just turned it off. I think you'd be quite interested in seeing but it looks like just going across from one country to another now in Schengen. So let's do it. The police are on the bridge as ever. So much for it being a hassle-free border. This is the River Oder. Sometimes it does live up to its name a little bit because floodwaters pour through it on occasion. It can be high or low. This is quite low at the moment. It gets a lot higher than this. I've seen it up, way up. So, granica państwa. So obviously there is a state border still. There's a buzzard up there, watching out in case any of those Deutsche Adlers want to come. I see the police already watching over there, seeing if they can catch anybody filming, I suppose. So they're also no good. This has now turned into what? A petrol station? Can't be, can it? No, just a place where they're changing money, and it's protest. Don't get rid of our places of work. Well, this is what it's all about, isn't it? They don't want Europe to move on because it leaves them without jobs. Well, I suppose people should have thought of that and thought of some re-employment programs when they did say that these people wouldn't have any more work. They might have thought a little bit as to what they can actually do with them. People are full of saying, oh, you can't do this anymore, but they're not so full of saying to people, I'm talking about saying to the kind of idiots that work in customs offices, because they would never be able to be entrepreneurial. Sometimes they've been a little bit too entrepreneurial, but in a wrong way. But they'll never be able to do an honest business or an honest day's work in their lives. So what are they going to do now? Well, something else should have been thought of for them. They can't just sort of like let the air all go out of them and kind of disappear. So as soon as we're in Poland, unfortunately, nightclub adverts, by which they mean brothel adverts, yeah? So a little bit sad to have that as the visiting card of the country, but little by little, and we'll get there. Orlen, it's a nice logo, and to be a little bit careful because there's lots of police when you just come over the border looking for people that they can get money from, which is not very nice. So we have to watch the laws about headlights being on, which they also have to be in Germany, so that's not an issue, and making sure that we don't go over the speed limit, which you wouldn't want to do because you can get fined quite heftily these days. Of course, once the motorway actually starts, it's difficult to pull somebody over on the middle of a motorway, but you know, it didn't seem to stop those Germans the other day from giving it the old follow me thing. So, this is apparently now a motorway. It doesn't say Platner yet, which is payable. And this is Orlen here now. I'm quite tempted to go to the toilet so that I can have a nice relaxed journey. Maybe I'll get a bite to eat as well. So that break, that effectively getting the coffee and a bite to eat and going to the toilet, that effectively took me to 3:20. I was on 3:07 before still. So it's like a 13-minute break. That doesn't seem to get counted. That's almost like under the fiction that you're never going to do any breaks, or that the breaks are factored in or something. But now it looks like I've got 0321. So it looks, oh, it's back on 20 again. It's telling me I'm doing over the speed limit. But basically, we'll see how it goes. It says 0320 is now the upper limit, and we'll see if I'm under 0320.
110 meters.
Well, we're now on a completely different situation. It's only 121, not 320, or as it became even worse than that, it would have been with the brakes that I took, something like 350. I think I've saved 2.5 hours just by the
Turn
new
back
roads that have
where
been built,
possible.
and very nearly home now. I think perhaps another 10 kilometers, 15, something like that. This doesn't know the roads that I'm driving on. But basically that's... What did I do today? How much have I got? Let's just see. 549.3 is what I drove this evening. It's 8 o'clock. In 5 hours and 21 of elapsed time. So there we are. That makes it an average of... Well, what's it an average of? Yes. An average of just a little bit more than 100 per hour. It's not quite that at the moment. Am I doing this properly? Not entirely certain. This says Warsaw Centre here. I don't think I've really been down this one before. Exactly what this is going to do and where it's going to take me is not quite clear to me, but we'll see what it does. I'm really not sure what this is, where this is taking me at all, really. It's now going north, which is, I suppose, okay. Strange. Is this the Warsaw sign? Yeah. That's the Warsaw sign. So it can't be long now. But I don't really know what side I'm coming in from. Seriously. Emilia Confectionery. Salomea, no idea what that is. That says Centrum Mokotów. That's Włochy Bemowa and Ursus. I don't think I want that. So, I need to stay on this. Centrum Mokotów and Wola. That's where I need to be. And that says Mokotów and Wola.
Prepare to turn right in
That's the centre.
860 meters.
I don't know. I don't know what to do now. Mokotów and Wola are not exactly the same place, but Ochota is between the two. So therefore, if this is the way to Mokotów and Wola, it must be the way to Ochota as well, presumably. Oh, now I've got a mixture. I can go to Wola or I can go to Mokotów. I really don't know what to do with this. Really strange.
Prepare to turn right in 300 meters.
That's a hotel that I seem to recognise.
Take next right in 100 meters.
Castorama.
Drive 1.7 kilometers.
What on earth is this?
You are over the speed limit.
Golly, I don't think I've ever come down here before. Weird. Alliance. That's funny.
You are over the speed limit. Prepare to exit right in 300 meters. You are over the speed limit.
Golly.
In 100 meters, exit right.
Alright.
Prepare to turn left in 220 meters. In 100 meters, turn left.
Blimey. Where on earth am I? Strange place. Says I'm only 2 kilometers from home. How can that be? Ah, this is Krakowska. Of course. Okay. Now I understand what it's done. How I got here, I don't know. But clearly, I've saved a lot of time with those motorways. And I'm just about made it, but I don't feel too good after a long drive in the evening. So a little bit more and I probably would have had to stop.